As you can see from the picture, in this video we will discussing about the draft EIA notification 2020. Often development and environmental protection are seen against to each other. For any development you have to destroy the environment. Therefore EIA comes in picture to provide a balance between the two. So we will see first the understand the EIA process. So environment impact assessment process scrutinizes the potential environmental impact and negative externality of a proposed project. It also determines whether the project can be carried out in the form proposed or whether it is to be abandoned or modified. The assessment is carried out by an expert appraisal committee EAC. EAC consists of scientists and project management experts. The EAC frames the scope of the EIA study and a preliminary report is prepared. That report is published and a public consultation process takes place. Objection can be heard including from the project affected people. The EAC can then make a final appraisal of the project and forward that to the regulatory authority, that is the Ministry of Environment and Forest. The regulatory authority is ordinarily obliged to accept the decision of the EAC. Generally they accept the decision of the EAC. So why this process? If you will understand the process, then it will help you understanding the changes that has been brought in 2020 draft notification with respect to the EIA 2006 rules. So first we will discuss the history of the EIA in India. So the Indian experience with the EIA began over 40 years back. It started in 1976-77 when the Planning Commission asked the Department of Science and Technology to examine the River Valley project from an environmental angle. This was the first time it was done in India. This was subsequently extended to cover those projects which require the approval of Public Investment Board. So till 1994, now we are coming to 1994. Till 1994, environmental clearance from the central government was an administrative decision and lacked legislative support. So till 1994, it was mostly a administrative decision. On 27 January 1994, the Union Ministry of Environment and Forest, under the Environmental Protection Act 1986, remember this, under the Environmental Protection, very useful for prelims. So under the Environmental Protection Act 1986 promulgated an EIA notification making environmental clearance mandatory for expansion or modernization of any activity or for setting up new project listed in schedule 1 of the notification. Since then there was made 12 amendment made in the EIA notification of 1994. So after 1994 there were 12 amendment done which led to the formation of the new EIA legislation in September 2006. So between 1994 to 2012 amendment was done in 1994 rule. So we will see then 2006. The MOEF notified new EIA legislation in September 2006. The notification makes it mandatory for various projects. So the scope has been widened, such as mining, thermal power, river, valley, infrastructure and industry, including very small foundry units to get environmental clearance. So earlier it is started with a very narrow range of project, and now EIA covers a very large domain of project. However, unlike the EIA notification of 1994, the new legislation has put the onus of clearing project on the state government depending on the size and capacity of the project. So the onus of clearing has been shifted from center to state. certain activities permissible under the Coastal Regulation Zone Act 1991 also require similar clearance. Additionally, donor agency operating in India like the World Bank and the Asian Development Bank have a different set of requirements for giving environmental clearance to projects that are funded by them. So these projects were uh, covered differently. So now we will see the draft EIA notification 2020 that has come up and what is the changes with respect to 2006. So some of the concerning point that has been what we call people are more worried about. So the why the new draft notification came out? It came out to streamline the EIA process and bring it in line with the recent judgments by the Supreme Court. So we will see what are some of the concern points. So first is the ex post facto clearance route. It is the most devastating blow to the EIA regime, I say, because it applies to the ongoing uncompleted project for which an EIA clearance was never sought or granted, and the construction of the project took place regardless of the violation of the norm. Now these projects can now be slapped with minor fine and they will get cleared under EIA. Where such ex post clearance were being granted previously, the court has cracked down on them as illegal. So these were also given in 2006, but court used to crack down illegal. But now with the backing of the legislature, it will become now difficult. Therefore, what could not be rectified will now find itself notified. The legality of sidestepping the court is questionable and will have to be tested. Sorry. So the time to furnish response has been shortened. So the draft notification also shortens the time for the public to furnish responses on the project. The time has been reduced from 30 days to 20 days. So the time has been reduced from 30 days earlier to 20 days. For project affected people who are frequently forest dweller or otherwise do not have the access to information technology, this will make it harder to put forth representation. Most of these environmental clearance project will get impact the forest dweller. They do not have the information, so from 30 days now it has been reduced to 20 days only. So the monetary requirements are reduced. So the monetary requirements have been slackened. So the draft EIA notification half the frequency of reporting requirement from every 6 months to once a year. It also extends the validity period for approval in critical sectors such as mining. So again, the earlier the monitoring requirement was that the reporting has to be done every 6 months. Now it will done every 1 year. So the scope of EIA has also been reduced. So the industry that previously required a full assessment have been downgraded. The construction industry will be one such beneficiary where only the large project will be scrutinized fully. While defense and national security installation were always understandably exempted, a vague new category of project involving other strategic consideration will also now be free from public consultation requirement. So they have created a new group itself called strategic, and the use of the term is itself vague because any project can be put under the term strategic, and they can be make free from public consultation requirement. So these are the points that has been in concerning, and even there has been many debate and the articles on the newspaper about them. So in the end, EIA rules must meet the requirement of the precautionary principle of avoiding harm and intergenerational equity. The European Union, as an evolving example, has modified its process in accordance with the Aarhus Convention 1998, which stipulates that environmental rights and human rights are linked. The present generation owes an obligation to future generation. Sustainable development can be achieved only through the involvement of all stakeholders. Government accountability and environmental protection are connected. An interaction between the public and public authority must take place in democratic context. The EU directive on EIA includes climate change and biodiversity concern. So you can put an example of European Union in the conclusion. The rules in India, including EIA 2006, it can be argued, privilege the interest of the project proponent by whittling down public consultation, accepting faulty EIA report from external influences, and ignoring the non-renewable nature of resources. Notification 2020 depends the impact of that paradigm. So it is said that the notification 220 is mostly favoring the project people and in a long term will harm the environment. Let's see how the government will act on it and whether it will be converted into final legislation or not. It is still in the drafting phase. Thank you.